Hey, everybody, I'm Professor B, and welcome to my amazing laboratory. I'm under our brand new Studio B3 under construction, so that's why all the funky stuff is going on back there. But don't let that distract you. We are going to have some fun tonight. Fun, 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 fun. Okay, let's get serious. Yes, I can. Today, we're talking about math. I know. I know, there was a girl in my school. Her name was Sally Ann. Well, we'll just call her Sally Ann. That was her name, but I'm going to pretend it's not. And she would always say, I'm never going to use this in real life. Why do I have to learn it? We all know a Sally Ann, don't we? We do. But none of you are Sally Anns. I know that. Today, we're going to explore some reasons why you actually need to learn math and why it's fun. Math rules our life. Now, I tell everybody, even though I was born and raised in the good old US of A, Merca, English was not my first language. It was math. I understood math before I could actually talk. I didn't know all of, like the variables x plus y minus z. I didn't know all of that, but I understood the concepts, how things went together, and how things would add or subtract or multiply. And I understood vectors in my own way. That's higher up math. So it's just part of my life, and I don't even think about it. When I'm driving my car, usually I'm by myself, and I'm keeping track of time and miles. Distance equals rate times time, and I navigate by myself, and I can pretty much tell when I'm going to get where I'm going. So why do we need math? It's a skill. It is. Hand-eye coordination, we practice that. How many times do we need hand-eye coordination? Every day. What else do you do every day that you never knew you did? When I was a kid, and when my kid was a kid, I had these buttons. They were different colors, and then one was round, and one was square, and one was a triangle. And then they were colored like orange and blue and yellow. We had shoelaces that were orange and blue and yellow. And the idea was to feed that shoelace through this big button. Now, obviously, that's a stupid activity because never, ever in my entire life have I had the need to thread a shoelace through a giant button. So why did I do it? Why did I give that toy to my kid? It's a skill that we need to learn, just like math. So, do you know that time is math? What angle does the sun make from the meridian? It's math. We were talking about what kind of jobs could we have that don't actually require math. I asked a 7-year-old today, what kind of jobs do you think you could have that don't need math? And the answer was McDonald's. The other answer that we came up with was pooper scooper. Can I say that on YouTube? I guess I just did. So, you want to work at McDonald's? You want to be a pooper scooper? Guess you better learn math. Let's see. Every time I drive my car, I'm doing math. If I'm trying to merge onto the highway, I need to find a spot and I need to make sure that the speed of my car matches the speed of traffic, and I can make it into the spot where I need to merge because it's my job to merge with traffic. It is not traffic's job to let me in. They can if they're nice drivers. That's called the intercept problem. It's calculus. You would do calculus in your brain just like that. Bakers. You have a recipe to make 6 muffins, and you're having a party with 18 people. What do? Do you make 3 batches 3 times, or do you take that one recipe and you multiply it up so you can make it 3 times or 4 times or 12 times? What if you're a baker for a restaurant and you got to make 4,000 muffins? I don't know, maybe it's a convention center, but you only have a recipe for 6. You need math. Hairdressers. The first thing they need to know is the shape of your face. Look at my face. What's the shape of my face? Not like that. That's kind of a funny look, isn't it? Hello, I'm a turtle. I work for the... I'm not going to say that. So for a woman's face, the ideal shape, the Greeks figured this out 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, whatever it was. The ideal shape for a woman's face is an oval. But not every woman has an oval face. So your haircut is supposed to accentuate your face to make it look like an oval. For a man, the ideal shape is a square. So your haircut needs to help make your face look square. That's geometry. What angle does your hair leave your head? See, that's a bad angle, isn't it? Kind of makes me look like the devil, doesn't it? I'm so funny. If CB were here, she would yell at me. What would she say? That's not funny, Professor. Doesn't that sound like CB? I think I just made my hair worse. The other thing, if you're a hairdresser, is sometimes people want their hair dyed. Well, maybe you don't have the right color, so you have to mix it in proportions. The solution that you put on their hair is very, very concentrated. If you put it on somebody's head, their hair will fall out. And then you wouldn't have a customer anymore because they wouldn't have any hair. So you have to dilute it. That's algebra. Geometry, algebra, angles, vectors. It's all geometry. You wouldn't think of that, would you? Math is everywhere. Everywhere. I know that it takes me 3 minutes to walk to the bus stop. So, what time do I have to leave in order to make sure I can be there when the bus comes? We'll just subtract 3 minutes. What is that word I used? Subtract. Does that sound like math? It's math. Football players. Any football players out there? When you throw the football, you need to know the angle to throw the ball so that it flies through the air and makes it to the guy who's going to catch it. If it falls short, you lose the game. If it's too far, it's a free-for-all. Maybe the other team will get the ball. You don't want that to happen, do you? Okay, you don't get out a pencil and paper, and you don't write out the formula for a parabola and the velocity. No, but you do it in your head. Once you understand the concepts, you do it in your head, and you know the angles. A few weeks ago, I was teaching somebody to play darts. We had to adjust the angle of our arms. Don't throw darts this way. It doesn't work. Right, this way. And when you hit the target, you have to add up your score. Okay, technically, if you're a dart person, you have to subtract your score because you start at 301 or 501 and you work your way down to 0. Now, that's a fun game, but it's math. Maybe you guys have these cards games that you play. I don't think I can say the names, but you know what they are. And you can attack somebody and they have a defense and all of the cards had numbers on them. Absolutely math. How about a truck driver? When a truck driver is going down a hill, there are hills that are very steep, and the truck driver has to do something else to the truck so they don't run away. So what, you say? I have seen those angles measured in a percent, like 5% downgrade, 7% downgrade. I've seen them expressed as an angle, 1 to 3, and I have seen them expressed, sorry, that was a ratio. 1 to 3 is a ratio, not an angle. The next one is an angle, like 10 degrees. Well, you learn how to do it based on one way, so you have to convert in your head. Oh, is a 3 to 1 slope greater than a 7% grade? I don't know. I guess I'll pull over and I guess I'll call my math teacher and ask him. You're just going to learn it. And you're going to do it. Some people have trouble with math. Maybe it's because they don't understand it. One of the biggest problems I see with people having trouble with math is they're not proficient at it. I've seen people use their fingers to add. 5 plus 3, they'll go 5, 6, 7, 8. 8! 5 plus 3 is 8. Awesome. Great. You understand how to do it. What's going to happen in a couple of years when you start doing multiplication? And you're going to get 8 times 3. Well, that's 8 plus 8 plus 8, right? So how am I going to do that? I'm going to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No! You're going to get exhausted. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to have to do it again. And you're going to go, oh, I hate math. Just take the time. Memorize your addition tables. Memorize your multiplication tables. Just like that. Now, I happen to have an assistant next to me who's off camera. And I'm going to ask my assistant to give me a simple math problem. And let's see how long it takes me to figure it out.
67 times 238.
I said simple math problem. 67 times 238. Okay. 67 times 2. You know what that is? It's 134. 100. Oh, I forgot the rest of the number. 238. I don't even remember. I think I need another assistant.
5 times 3.
5. Okay, now we've gone from the ridiculous to the sublime. 5 times 3 is 15. Come on, give me something.
25 times 12.
25 times 12. Okay, I love this one. 25 times 12. You know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to say to myself, 12 is 4 times 3. I know that from my multiplication tables. And I know that 25 times 4 is 100. And 100 times 3 is 300. So 25 times 12 is 300. What do you guys think you're going to use math for? Do you have a job that you have to use math every day? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you do. If you have a job where you think you actually do not use math, throw that in the comments too. We want to see what they are. I want to see what jobs you can do when you don't have math. A radio. We all remember the radios with a little dial that you have to turn. You probably have one in your car. Maybe you use it, maybe you don't. Little dial. It's very interesting on that radio because the knob, when you turn it, is linear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your ears, when they hear it, it goes by squares. 1, 2, 4, 9. But the radio, when it amplifies it, it goes logarithmic. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, logarithmic scale. And yet somehow, when you turn it, the level slowly increases the way you expect it to. Somebody did a lot of math behind that. I rented a car over the holiday. This is, what month is this?
This is January.
January. And so the winter solstice holiday. What's the name of the winter solstice holiday? The holiday in December?
Christmas?
Christmas. That's it. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah. I knew I missed something. Love it. I'm so funny. I should have my own comedy show. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. I rented a car, and the car almost drove itself. It told me how many miles to gallon I could get and how many miles I could go before I ran out of gas. I didn't trust it, but that's what it told me. And then I could see on the highway how far it was to the next town. And I could subtract that in my head and go, oh, I'm going to have to get gas before I get there. And just for fun, just because I like playing with math in my head, just to keep my skills sharp, I would always think to myself, I wonder how many gallons of gas I'm going to have to put in this car. I was never off by more than half a gallon. Just like that. I think this is going to take somewhere between 6 and 7 gallons. Just because I knew how much more. That was just kind of my fun little game. Some people do the alphabet game. They try to find an A, and then they try to find a B, and then try to find a C. I try to figure out how much gas I'm using. Because math is fun. It almost drove itself. It even had this feature on the steering wheel where it would see the lines on the road. And it would slowly wiggle like this. I pretended I was on a ship in the ocean. It was just swaying with the ocean. You think somebody had to do a lot of math to make that happen? Wouldn't you like to be the guy that made that happen and collect all that money? Math is good. Math is fun. Lots and lots of math. I love math. There's a dog sitting next to me. You can't see him. You can't see her. It's a she dog. It's a big dog. She eats lots of food. How often do I have to buy another bag of food? Well, that's pretty simple. I can just see how long the first one lasts, and then I can just go like that. Yeah, or I can just look at it and go, oh, there's about 7 servings in here. And so if I feed the dog twice a day, that means every 3.5 days I need a new bag. You think the grocery delivery guy knows the place by heart, delivering a bag of dog food every 3 days? I'm kidding. It's more than 3.5 days. It's more than 3.5 days. Math is fun. I enjoy math. The more I do it, the easier it gets. Make a game out of it. You know the song for the days of the week? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday's the last day, and I can sing them all. What song can you make up about math to help you remember? Maybe your formulas, maybe you're adding, maybe you're subtracting. What formulas can you do? Have fun with it. Take pencils, add and subtract pencils. How about, I don't know, sugar cubes, or if you really want to stay busy, count grains of salt. I'm kidding. How about measuring cups? I have a glass. I don't know how much it holds. How can I figure out how much it holds? That's math, isn't it? Let's just have fun. Let's just have fun with math. If you're not having fun with math, you're not doing it right. You can go to our website. I wrote a blog on why we need math. www.steammakers.com. That's our production company, steammakers.com. Maybe I'll put a link in the bottom. You can go to that link and you can read my article on why I think we need math. Okay, I'm going to ask my assistant here. How do you use math every day?
I use math in my job every day because my job is to pay people. So I use math to calculate how many hours they worked and how much they've earned and also how much they have to pay in taxes.
I don't know how much of that you heard. She says that she does payroll. She pays people. Don't you want your paycheck to be right? How many hours did they work? How much did they make per hour? What's their gross pay? What's their disposable income? We had an argument about that earlier. Well, it wasn't an argument. Just disposable. What's their net pay? If they're contributing to their 401k, how much is that? And you want to make sure it's right, don't you?
Yes, because they want to retire someday.
You want to retire someday. And you know what? When you get your paycheck, you need to look at it and see if it's right. Once in a while, not often, but once in a while, there might have a mistake. You want to know that, right? If you're getting underpaid, you want to know that. If you're getting overpaid, you're going to be honest and you're going to tell your boss. And the first time it happens, they might let you keep it or not. But you earn points and they want to help you get a raise. And when you get a raise, you make more money. More money is good, right? I used to have a piggy bank. It was actually a pig. You put a coin in, and its head would spin and go, more money, more money. It's pretty funny. I wonder whatever happened to that. I don't know. Probably got lost in the move. If anybody knows where I can get a piggy bank that looks like a pig that'll spin its head and oink and say more money, let me know. Put it in the comments. I want to hear about it. How many times have people complained to you that their check was wrong?
Many.
Many times they've complained that their check was wrong. And
But-
how many times were they actually right?
Not very many.
Not very many.
Because people don't take the time to do the math themselves before they come asking questions and assume it's wrong.
Because they don't take the time to do the math themselves. And you know what happens when you go to payroll and you say, my paycheck is wrong and you're going to fix it right now. And it turns out your paycheck is right. You know what that looks like? It makes you look stupid. And then pretty soon you get a reputation for being the stupid one. And then nobody wants to hang out with you. Nobody wants to work with you. You don't get promoted. And then you're going to end up bad in your job. In fact, we had a conversation one day. Somebody was saying, my paycheck is wrong. And it was supposed to get this much of a raise. I said, yeah, so what's the net? Like, blah, 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 blah. And how close was I that time? Like within $10?
I think you were pretty close, Professor B.
That's pretty close. Just in my head. See? The more you do it, the more proficient you get, the easier it becomes. And the more you notice all of the things that are right.
Once you learn the correct vocabulary.
Vocabularious. Closing thoughts. I'm thinking. They're in my head. Oh, I have to say my clothing thoughts? Where's CB? Where is she? She needs to keep me on track for these things. She would remind me. She would remind me to say, what would she say? Something about all the buttons at the bottom, the subscribe and the like and the bell and the whatever the other things are. You guys know what they are. I don't even need to tell you. Just push them. See what happens. Remember to do that. And I'm going to be working on coming live more often. So put in the comments what you might like to see. We do STEM, plus art and music. We teach STEM with the fun and creativity of art and music. So that's what we want to do. We want to have fun with this. Why does it have to be boring? I think I saw something on television. Hello, I am Professor Boring. Yes, you are, and I don't want to watch you. Let's have fun. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, 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 fun. Okay, remind me not to do that next time. Remind me of that time I said a word I wasn't supposed to say, and my mom. I don't want to remember that. Never mind. Okay. All right. Okay, Kat. Any closing thoughts? Kat is asleep. Any closing thoughts?
Good job, Professor B. Thank you for teaching us.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but that's okay. I'm going to take it. Until next time, everybody, I'm Professor B saying fun is a choice. Are you making the right choice?